From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right, all year round. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months.
Tractors, RTV, construction equipment. You do it all, we do it local.
Well, here we go. Everything I've been talking about this week and even last week has been leading up to today. And today is when the heat wave begins. And then, of course, we'll continue the weekend, be even hotter over the weekend when that is when the heat wave peaks. We're also talking about the potential for some record-breaking temperatures. But I don't think everyone's going to break records, and you'll see that here in a second. And then next week doesn't look to be quite as hot. However, even though we're seeing a dip in the temperatures, they're going to start to go right back up again. All right, so here's your planner for the valley today. And you can see, yes, it's starting today. I think, places like Redding, Red Bluff, it's not out of the question for you to see 110 degrees today. It looks like Chico will have about 107 degrees for your daytime high. And how about the mountains? Quite honestly, I think I'm being a little conservative with these temperatures. It might be closer to right around 100 degrees, pretty much give or take. Pretty much anywhere you go in the mountains, although Altura is one of the cooler spots at about 95 degrees. So, there's watches and warnings all over the place in Northern California right now. The only place that doesn't have any kind of a heat advisory or excessive heat warning is basically the coast. But you head inland, you head to the higher elevations, you head to the valley, you're talking excessive heat warnings and advisories. And here's the reason why. Look at the valley, for example. This blue line represents the normal high of 100. We're going to be above that for the most part over the next 7 days, with the exception of Wednesday, where it'll be right at normal. But this looks promising, right? See how it's dropping? But then it starts to go back up again. Now, I don't anticipate this next heat wave at the end of next week to be as hot as the one we're going to see, but it's going to be another little mini heat wave. All right, so let's talk about those records. Remember I was talking about not everyone's going to break records. Today, tomorrow, and even Sunday, nowhere near those records actually for Redding. So I don't think we're going to see any record-breaking highs. Now for Mount Shasta City, these records are actually pretty easy to break. The one for today is the record is 97, set in 2018. We're going to break that by 2 degrees. I think we're going to break Saturday's record as well of 99, and I think we'll also break Sunday's record of 98, set in 2014. So yeah, I think we could break some records in the mountains. Alturas, bit of a different story. I don't think we're going to break a record today. We're going to get close on Saturday and close on Sunday, but at this point, it doesn't look like we're going to break a record for Alturas. How about Susanville? Well, not today, but I think over the weekend, yes, I think we could possibly break a record, especially on Saturday. It may be a little bit more difficult on Sunday, but you get the idea. I think there's a chance to break some records in Susanville come Saturday, Sunday. So what's been leading up to all this? Of course, this heat, this bubble of heat. It will be moving back to the east, all thanks to this right here. A nice trough, cool trough of low pressure is pushing that heat back to the south and east. But remember, I was talking about how temperatures are dropping through Wednesday. That heat will be back over the desert southwest. But here's what's going to happen. You see how that heat's kind of expanding to the north and west, and it's getting closer to us. Now, it's not going to be directly on top of us. The main bubble of heat is right here. And that means that that's where the main heat's going to be. But it will expand into our region. And that's what's going to give us a slight increase toward the end of next week. But the monsoon moisture is another thing I'm monitoring here. Because with the area of high pressure of the desert southwest, clockwise flow around that moisture is going to get strung up right into Northern California. Now, I think what's going to happen is it's going to feel more muggy around here than we're used to. Nothing terrible, but just more muggy than we're used to. But that added moisture is also going to give us some fuel for the potential for mountain thunderstorms, especially along the spine of the Sierra. Not only Sunday, but it looks like that could be the case on Monday as well. And then it looks like by Tuesday of next week, that kind of pushes back to the south and east. It's not going to feel as muggy around here, and I don't anticipate any more thunderstorms. So another thing that's worth watching here, especially as we get to the second half of the weekend and early next week. Heading out to the Trinity County Fair. I know I plan on maybe checking it out, but I'm making sure that I'm going to bring water or stay hydrated in general, because it's going to be hot even up in the mountains. For today, you're up to 103, 108 on Saturday, the peak. And then temperatures do start to drop, but we're still 107 degrees on Sunday. All right, so here's your forecast for your Friday. There it is. The heat wave we've been talking about all week long is finally here. 109 for Redding, 107 for Chico, 106 for Oroville, and the mountains in the upper 90s. Here's your 7-day outlook, and there you can see Mount Shasta City. Over 100 degrees, temperatures dropping. Now, again, you'll notice the trend, especially in the mountains. Yes, they're dropping, and they're going to go up slightly as we go towards Thursday of next week. But I think we're going to see a more noticeable increase toward the end of next week as we look at that 7-day forecast for the valley. So we're back down to 100 degrees for Redding on Wednesday. But notice, even for Red Bluff, we're back up to 104 on Thursday. Chico, about 99 degrees.